This is a bad motorcycle. It runs on blood. Cheap creep.
Hey everybody, what's up? So, took out the Ice Bear on its maiden voyage, and it's hard to start. It has to start on starting fluid, and when it's running, it seems to run pretty good, but then like you get going and then you let off the gas a little bit, then it starts bogging down, and then it's hard to get it going again. So, don't know how old the fuel is in it, you know, and if it sat in the carbs could be dirty. I don't know. So we're gonna try something today before I get all crazy and taking it all apart and trying to clean the carbs manually. Right here, this stuff. People keep swearing by this. I've never used it. This is Seafoam, okay? It is designed for cleaning injectors, carb jets, stabilizing fuels, controlling moisture in fuels, quieting noisy lifters, cleaning deposits, adding lubricity to fuel, lube up cylinders, de-ice, and anti-gel. It supposedly works on gasoline, gas ethanol blends, diesel or biodiesel. You can use it in oil. You can use it in injector and induction cleaning. I mean, two cycle, 4 cycle, diesel, cars, trucks, boats, tractors, small engines. It just, is this stuff too good to be true? Looking at it, you just add 1 ounce per gallon of fuel. I watched some other things on it. People say just run it 20 minutes and see if it makes a difference. For deeper cleaning, you can use 2 or more ounces per gallon. So you can just kind of eyeball this stuff. What I did to aid in figuring out what the heck 1 ounce is, because I don't have any measuring things in the garage, just using a little Coke bottle. If you're wondering how to get to 1 ounce, well, it's kind of hard. The Pyrex and all the measuring stuff that I have, it all says 2 ounces minimum, or just cups or whatever. If you really want to know what 1 ounce is, 1 ounce is 2 tablespoons, and tablespoons are a common measurement. So you can just pour 2 tablespoons into a bottle of sorts and then measure the line at which it's at. Remember, the line is actually a little bit of an optical illusion, so it's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty close, because you get that bowl, you know, effect in water. I also put the 2 ounces on there too, because 2 ounces is easy to measure on a Pyrex cup, so I went ahead and did that as well. This will be my official Seafoam and other various minimal additive pouring thing. I really wish Seafoam would come in a bottle kind of like Stable, because on a Stable bottle, if you haven't seen it, and I recommend this stuff too. I run this all the time, year round, and everything, and even in my sport bike, chainsaws, boats, lawnmowers, whatever. Stable. Good thing about this is you can let your fuel sit and it won't gum up your carbs. And if you're gonna winterize, use this. Even in stuff that I'm gonna use for the summer, I use this. But anyway, as you can see, it's a nice, he's got this nice little measuring thing here. So it's pretty cool. It's a lot easier to work with. But all right, so let's get the Seafoam poured and run it for 20 minutes, and we'll take it for another test drive. Pour that down the hatch. And I actually did pour some Stable in it already, so we don't need to add anymore. All right, I'm gonna take and shake it real good. Like my makeshift battery. So that's my old 4-wheeler battery. It doesn't fit, it's too tall. So I went and ordered another one. You know, like my little starting fluid there. I'll see if she'll start without starting fluid. So you can see what I'm talking about. This thing is ice cold. I have not started it today. I was running it yesterday. This thing set up here. what I'm saying. She no starty. So, starting fluid to the rescue. And if you're wondering where to spray the starting fluid on a stock Ice Bear, it's in this weird little guy right here. This is your intake. So right there in those holes, shoot a whole bunch in there. Just get her up and running. Give it a couple pumps. Like magic. Let's get this set up on this whatchamacallit. Alright. We'll start the timer for 20 minutes. Let it run, see how she does. And we'll be back. Oh, look at that. Is it idling? Oh, that's good. It did idle before. It's got a mind of its own, though. It's kind of creepy. Oh, and it stalled. Should have filmed this, but this came out of my oil filter. This rusty looking junk. And the fuel filter on this guy is right on top. And this thing was like reddish brown, just filled with junk. So that Seafoam's doing its job. If you have a Honda Ruckus, I heard the fuel filter is actually under the gas tank, which kind of sucks. It's still kind of idling rough after running for a while. It doesn't like to be floored, but part of that might be because of this. I might need to pull the carburetor out of this and clean it after all. I think that's the fuel pump right there. And that supplies the filter. So I don't know if you need to clean that as well or what, but let's give it a few more runs and see if the Seafoam does its stuff. See, that's the starting fluid running just about out. Once it warms up, it'll usually run for a little bit. That's the starting fluid again. And conked out. Yep. We're going to rebuild the carb today. There appears to be the junk. Nasty orange gas, and then here's the diaphragm. Looking kind of cruddy. I'm going to clean that out real good. See if it helps a little bit. Okay, change the fuel filter. Let's get the fuel. There's arrow 2 on here too, showing you which direction the fuel goes in. That thing right there, I think, is like a choke, because it's got a line here that goes to the fuel filter, that goes into the carburetor, and it's got a second line here that dumps into the box right here on the head, I believe. Yes. And the other one, obviously, is the third line that goes right to the fuel source. This is the big air cleaner box right here. This is just an interesting intake. It's got some lines here, which I think uses it for vacuum. And let's see. One of them goes to the crankcase. Off this Y here. The other one is like a blow off. Jumps right there. And let's see. Actually, no, that one's for the choke. It's on the bottom, or not the choke, the carburetor. That line's on the bottom of the carb. So we got one that goes the gearbox, splits off. Second one goes into the head, it looks like. Okay, after the Seafoam and the cleaning of the whatever that is, fuel primer, doohickey, getting the rust out of there, changing the fuel filter, running spark plug, or not spark plug cleaner, carburetor cleaner, choke cleaner, starting fluid. It still doesn't want to start on its own without starting fluid, and it also doesn't want to stay running long, and when you hit the accelerator, it doesn't want to accelerate. So what that tells me is most likely the accelerator jet is plugged, and the idle jet is probably also somewhat cruddy. So we're going to pull the carburetor out. To do that, let's see, we'll start by taking off the part of the carb that goes into the intake. Take this band off on top here. This would probably be easier to do by taking the plastic off, but you have to take the whole thing off, the entire footrest and everything, and I kind of want to keep mine. I know a lot of people take theirs off and use bars and put pegs on it, but right now I'm going to keep it more stock. Okay, so that's loose. Just get in here and loosen this clip off the fuel incoming line on the side. These clips kind of suck because they rust, and well, it could be a problem right there. Eh? There's no fuel coming out of the incoming fuel line, so maybe there's something wrong with that. I'm not sure what this is, unless it's like an electric choke, maybe? Let's see if that's plugged in. Appears to be all wired in. Well, let's take the air intake line off here. Okay. Alright, throttle advance. I'm gonna need to take off. See if I can get this line off. Okay. Move this to the side. Alright, so we got a line that goes on the bottom of the carb as well. Let's pull that off. There we go. So that's off. All right. All right. So what do we got left? We got the throttle cable, which can be removed just by loosening this nut right here and then pulling out this. Move this up so you can see it. So we're loosening that and that. And then the cable wraps around, and then you just pull this sinker out right here on the top. It just kind of fits in there. It's like a cylinder shaped thing. So the fuel that's coming out of that is nasty and rusty again. I don't know if that's that seafoam that does that or what, but man, does that look bad. Alright, so you just go full speed on the throttle, and then you pull this little sinker cable out ever so carefully. If you can get it to turn. There we go. See that? It just comes out like right there, like that. Okay. And then you can loosen that bolt out. Like so. And it comes out right there. See that little slot right there? That's where the cable will come out. There you go. So that's out. And the only thing left is this little electric choke thingamajigger. And I think that just plugs in. Or maybe it screws down. That tight. Just not lose the screw. So it's just two little screws to hold this bugger on. It's weird. Little plate. Let's see if this thing comes out now. Okay, that's just a little needle that's in there. This plugs right in there. There we go. We've got ourselves one freed up carburetor. Step 2 is going to be taking this bad boy apart, rebuilding it. Okay, so I took off the top part where the diaphragm pump is, and it was sealed good. I know a lot of people complain about these Chinese ones not sealing, but it was sealed down really well, and the diaphragm hasn't deteriorated at all. But the big problem that I have is I wanted to do a full rebuild on this thing, and the entire body is like no head bolts all the way around it. Like, you can't take this thing apart. Some parts are pressed on here too from videos that I've read. And if you're wondering what kind of carburetor this is a Jinrong. And on the other side, I don't know if it means anything, CVK. So, and look at that, you can see the rust gas pouring out of this thing, and it's all inside of it. And it's a cheap part. I wasn't going to rebuild it, just keep it original, but I'm just going to replace it, and I might look into getting a higher quality one, see if maybe like Mikuni makes one or not, and do a little eBay searching, and I'll let you know. This carburetor is 18.5 for this side, and on the outer diameter of this guy 38. Outer diameter on this guy is 27.5. So I went on the old eBay, did a little hunting around, found one in China for $23, got a little excited, and then I kept looking, and if you know your sizes here and know basically it's a CVK and that it's 50 cc's, just do a search for 50 cc carburetor, and then you can confirm your sizes there and look at the pictures for reference. And I found it for under $20 for $19.83 coming out of Kentucky. So rock and roll. Buy American, and plus it'll be shipping a lot faster than May. So ordered that carburetor, and that'll be the next thing that we put on the next Jeep Creep. What's up, Jeep Creepers? Look at these cool stickers I made. If you want to help support the channel, you can take and buy them. I'll have my description in the listing under the description of the video. They measure 3 inches in diameter, and they are nice and bright and orange. Kind of got a flat sheen to them. Pretty cool. I also have Jeep Creep stickers too that I will probably be giving away when I hit 100 subscribers. Thanks everybody, and stay safe.